What's up, everybody? Funnel Doc here. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about one of the biggest problems I've been having. So, people have been unsubscribing from my email list, and then they get mad at me because then they don't get my emails. Go figure, right? Well, the problem I've been running into is people have wanted to unsubscribe my list for one thing, but not for something else. They may want my YouTube videos, but maybe my don't want promotions about my AI agency bootcamp or whatever it is. But I've had multiple different instances where people have reached out to me and said, why am I not getting my emails? Why am I not getting my messages? And I've been like, you unsubscribed. That's why. So I decided to make a form that I would send to everyone within 24 hours after they joined my list. So however they signed up, anytime that I was able to get either their email information or their SMS, that I would actually send them via email a page or via an SMS, a funnel page link where they would be able to go and control where they'd be able to go and control all the settings themselves. They'd be able to control what they'd be getting, how often they'd be getting, and what format they'd be getting it in. So with that, I decided to make a whole giant ecosystem be able to do it all automatically. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I created it, how you can create it, and how you can get it just like this. So I'm going to show you how I created it, how you can even create it step by step, or if you don't want to take the time to create it yourself, how you can get it. Stay to the end of the video. I'm going to show you how. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in how this whole beast I created works. So the first thing is no matter what, whenever a contact is created, they're going to now be tagged as a new lead. And you'll see where this plays in to the system later. When that happens, they're going to be added to the actual pipeline. You'll see I have a pipeline I created. And then you've also got the ability here that it's added to the monthly follow-up email. This is the email that they're going to be getting every month. So this is adds into the series. So what this does, anytime some new contacts created, they're tagged as a lead, they're added as the first stage in the opportunity pipeline, which is lead, and then they're added to the monthly preference. Now it's going to wait usually, I think right now it's automatic, but you might want to wait, like have a stage in there for it to wait maybe an hour. So it's not getting it right away or even 24 hours, but that's totally up to you. Right now, once it's dropped in there, they're going to automatically get the email that's going to have the link that goes to the funnel page. Now, the reason why I decided to use the funnel page is I also want you to have the ability to just give somebody a URL. For instance, for mine, you can go to funneldoc.com/messages, and then that is your preference hub where you're able to go and it's through sticky contact. It will update automatically as long as you're using the same phone or IP. But if not, you can put in the same information, name, email, phone number, and then control your settings from just right there. So that way you don't have to log in your emails. You can just go to a link because no one wants to have another thing with them to log in a bunch of stuff. They just want to go to a link and be able to engage with it. And that's what this does. And that's why I wanted to go with the funnel. So it felt more like a app or a website that you're going to versus, you having to log into another portal and all different stuff like that. So the next one we'll look at here is this is the monthly communication preference reminder. This is the sheet that it gets dumped into, the next workflow. And you're going to see it's very simple. It's just this email here where it's like, hey, and you'll see that I use custom values throughout everything. So you'll see right here, this link, it comes in and here is the preference link. So that's where you would put your URL for whatever your funnel page. And I'll show you what that is when we get to the funnel section in a minute. And then I'm like, hey, only take 30 seconds, blah, blah, blah. And then I've even got a custom value for you to write your sign off. So your certain way that you like all your emails to be signed off, you just fill in the custom value. It does it all for you. Then it's going to wait 30 days. It's going to do it again. It's going to wait 30 days and do it again. And I realize that that's going to over time get off a little bit because there's like 5 or 6 months that have 31 or whatever. So it's going to get off just slightly. But I don't think anybody's going to freak out if they get it a little earlier or whatever over time. It's really about the consistency of getting it every 30 days, opening it up and knowing that they have control of being able to decide what they get and what they don't get. So we'll jump into the next one, and then we've got the complete communication preference form. So this is once they filled it out, this basically updates the date that they filled it out. So this is so that we know that the preference email was last filled out on this current date. Then we've got the engagement score for those that use it. I gave them plus 100. You can now control their engagement score. So I thought this was a really big deal. So I wanted to give them plus 100. You may or may not use that. You can feel free to take it out. The next thing we looked at is, did they click on the value of wanting to get emails? If they didn't, then if they did click that they did not want to receive it anymore, so it does not include email, because remember on the form I'll show you, it's like what forms of communication would you like to get? Email, SMS. So the things that we want this to trigger is off of what they didn't click on. So this does not include email. So if it goes here and it hits and it's like, oh, this doesn't include email, it's then going to go down this one. But if it does include email, it does. If it doesn't include email, it's going to go to the yes side, and it's going to be tagged D&D email, and it's going to then disable the email as well, so they won't be able to get it. But if it's the other way, it's a little tricky because you're using positive and negatives here. But if they did click on it and they do want it, it's then going to go down to the phone. And it's going to do, you're going to see right here, then if it doesn't, then it's going to go down in the phone. And then we're going to do it again. It's going to check. And if they clicked that they didn't want to have it and they've left it unchecked, that's going to say that they didn't want it. It's going to then D&D them. It's going to disable phone, and then it's going to do the same thing for SMS. It's going to do the same thing for Facebook Messenger, and then it's going to end the process. So there's basically for this, you can see that there, if you look at the different settings that you can actually D&D, there are only 4 different real things. So you can come in here and you can look and see. You can do call, SMS, email. I could have done WhatsApp. Google My Business is being depreciated, so don't worry about that. That won't be an option. The one thing I could do is add in here WhatsApp, but then there's Facebook. So, and if you did want to add WhatsApp in here, all you need to do would be just copy this sequence down again. So you just say, hey, copy from here down, put it right here. You change this unsub message, doesn't have WhatsApp. You need to add some other WhatsApp stuff in here, but it'd be pretty easy to do. But WhatsApp's not in here. If you want me to add WhatsApp to it, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to add WhatsApp to it. So there is the O3. And then we go through the next one is the email SMS updater. So this is the one that breaks down, hey, do they have email? Do we have their SMS? Do we have their last name? I could do their first name too. I could add that in if you want me to. Put first name in the comments, I'll add it in. But right now we'll say anytime a contact is created, we're going to wait an hour. The reason why I wanted to wait hours, I just wanted to have time to mess in the system just to make sure they weren't filling this information in somewhere else. And I didn't want them automatically getting bombarded with an email. Yo, what's up? We don't have your stuff. So we're assuming here that we do have their email or their SMS. So we're going to look in here. We have one or the other most likely. If not, we're checking name, but we're going to wait. We're going to check and see, is there an email? And if their email is empty, then we're going to go down this side and we're going to say, hey, we're going to assume hopefully that we have a text message and we're going to send them this text message. If their text message is missing, we're at that point going to add them to, hey, no contact information. So if we don't have their text message, don't have their email, they're really sort of useless to us, you know? So we're going to add them to that. And the no contact info you'll see would be added to the automatic deletion later. That's going to help clean your list up and stuff. So the next thing it does is come over here and it's like, well, we don't have their email. We don't have their SMS. Let's see if we at least have like their first name, last name. And if it doesn't, then we go through it here and we cycle through this, asking them for their last name, trying to get that information. You'll see we do this for each one. And we've got a counter here so that it goes through 3 times and then on 3rd time it quits. So what you're going to see is it's going to go through the first time. It's going to say, hey, do we have your email? And then we're going to say no, or do we have your last name? And it's going to like, no, it doesn't. So it's going to go through it one more time. And then it's going to wait for them to reply, or it could time out after a day. And then I've got so that after a while, it just times out after a day if we're not getting anything, or after the times here, it's going to then at that point go to 3. Go to the 3rd, 4th time, it'll stop. And if you didn't want to have one of these times, all you do is you go in here and you just delete one of the steps and it will go through the cycle one last time. And then it does the same thing over here where we determine now that we do have their email. You'll see right here, email is empty. So that means if it's not empty, we're going to go here and then we're going to check. Do we have their SMS? Is their SMS empty? If their SMS is empty, then we're going to go in here. We're going to send them this message saying, yo, we need your phone number via email. We're hoping it, remember, we checked. We did have their email here. Then we're going to go through the same process where we're going to ask them the 3 different times for their email, or I mean for their SMS, because we have their email trying to get their text message. And then if we do have their text message, if we come over here and we look at this and it's not empty, then we're going to ask for their last name. And we're going to do the same process, asking it for 3 times. So it's going to update their email, update their SMS, and update their last name. We're assuming that we usually almost always get first names. That's why we didn't go that route. So the next thing in here, and these are all the same here, is how do people want to be sent to? One of the problems when you update a form I found is it doesn't always update all the values. If I say, hey, I want to update this form, like right in here, the trigger is that we wanted to update this. If you use it for just a form, all the values don't go through at once. So what I decide to do is say, hey, when this value is updated, tag them that they want that email. So in the custom, and you'll see here it's custom value, but you'll see preferred channels. When preferred channels, and this way you can call it whatever you want. You can see in the custom values, that's why it's set up that way. But you can see in the preferred channels here, when email is added, they then get the tag that wants email. That way you can go in, and when you're seeing, all you do is you tag everybody that wants email and then whatever else you want, and you know you're never getting them. Well, they are D&D'd anyway, so most likely they won't. But this is like just a redundancy measure that I put in here just to make sure that everybody's tagged with the exact channels they want so that you can look and easily see who gets what. So when they do the same thing, we'll just roll through. These are all the same: Facebook Messenger, phone. The push notifications is really big now and new inside HighLevel, so we have that as well as SMS. So the next thing is no contact info instructor. So if they are tagged no contact info, like I showed you on that first notification, they then send a notification. Contact name will be deleted in 24 hours. We don't have an email or a phone number for them. And this is just a little step I put in there that you could sort of notify or have yourself notified if all of a sudden people are getting deleted and you want to check it. If not, just delete it. It's not even a big deal. And then the next step, they're out of here, thinning that list down, getting the people out. And the only reason I put this in here is there could be a possibility that someone might not want contact from you, but they might have access to a course or something that you might not put, you might want to put in here as like a stopgap or a measure or filter. Use the FL statement, maybe putting in here as another break. But I just want to put the notification in there so you'd be able to be notified when people are being deleted, especially if they might be a client or something. You don't want all of a sudden them to say, oh, I don't want any type of stuff anymore. And the next thing you know, they're being deleted. So the next thing here we've got is pause all communication. So if then someone's like, hey, I don't want anything. I want everything paused right now. I want do not disturb from everything. Now you could do this however you want, but I've got it when that is triggered, they're going to be tagged no communication. They're going to get D&D'd for all channels. This is basically shutting them down for everything. D&D'd for all channels. I'm then going to update them to the opportunity unsubscribe potential cleanup here. This is and then the following one is remove from all workflows. That way you just pull them out of everything. That way they're not accidentally getting sent anything. They're just a contact. But that's the one thing you also want to check now, because once they get into the prescribed, you want to make sure that they're not being deleted, because they might go into the deletion after a certain time if you're not careful. So the next thing here is the last one. This is unsubscribe cleanup workflow. What this is we're just basically anybody that's tagged here that's unsubscribed, you maybe want to delete them for that. For you, if someone's tagged D&D, you come in here and you might want to delete them. Maybe you don't want anybody in your list that doesn't have, if you don't have their email. Cool, you've got that. You've also got the ability here in this one. This is really big in the pipeline stages. I'm just about to show you in just a second. The last stage is a review for removal or something like that. I forgot how I termed it exactly. But I made it so if you move anybody there, they'll be deleted. Or if anybody gets moved there, they get deleted. So there's a lot of ways to really clean this list out. Again, this is another way you come in and you can add or subtract any of these. If you don't want people, when they get tagged D&D for SMS to be deleted, come in here, hit delete on that guy, or come in here and then delete the SMS one, which is this guy right here, and the bridge, and you'll remove that process and that won't be a problem. But, or don't even turn on this workflow if you don't want to use it. But I wanted you to give the option of massively just totally just scrape down your list so it's only people who are the most active and most engaged. Again, the one caveat of that is making sure you're not getting rid of people who maybe don't want to hear from you, but have bought a product or something like that and need to be in your ecosystem. So that is the workflows for everything. Now I'm going to show you the pipeline that we had set up. Pretty straightforward pipeline here. We've got first engagement. This is no preferences contact. This is just the lead. Now, once their contact form or the preferences form has been submitted, they're then here. Once they're moved into the active. If they're subscribed, if they pass pause for no communication, goes here. If you need to sync them up for their email, you can move them here. Unsubscribe pending cleanup, cleanup pending. That was the one I was just telling you about. And then if you move them to archived or removed, if anybody gets moved into this, they then trigger the one that potentially is going to delete them. What else we got in here? Here is the sites. You'll see that we have the communication preference hub, which if you come in right now, this is where you're going to see the thing. And this is all custom values, by the way. This is the headline. This is, and then all the different tips in here, anything are all custom values as well. So you can see, come in here, put your emails, whatever it is, supported funnel doc. And you can turn it off so that they have to have one or the other. I wanted to put it as if they needed both. That way you have full grasp on them, because here's the deal, even though they're giving your phone number, if they put that they don't want to have it, you'll put it on, they won't be sent it. So you'd be like, oh, I want AI tips and education. I want sales strategy. Oh, I want special offers and discount. I want company and brand updates. Oh, okay, wait a minute, I want them all. Unfortunately, I don't make it so it does select them all, but in the back, if someone selects all, they all are highlighted. How do you want to reach you? You'll see right here, we come in, oh, I want phone calls, and then whatever, or you can pause all communications if you don't want them all. So you come in here, select what they want or how they want to be contacted. And then if they don't, they can select the bottom, how often. You have weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, only major announcements, no messages. I'll check in when I want. So that is the sheet. And again, I wanted this to feel like, and that's why I've set up on a URL, actually like, something that's easy to access, so that you don't have to log into something. You literally just go to URL, put in your name and email, boom, put your preferences and update it instantly. So the next thing we want to look at quickly would be the URLs, or not URLs, but the custom values. You see there's 26 different custom values. We've got them all listed out here. You can see some are set up, some are not. We've got people for the spotlight. I've got a whole sheet down below that breaks it all down. When you sign up, you get a whole Google Doc here that breaks down everything for you, and tells you what each one of these are so that you can fill it out. And then we've got our custom fields in here. There aren't really that many. These are mainly for your preference. We have in here the times asked info, so that's that loop being tracked. We've got we're tracking the last email preference sent, when the last time they completed it, and then these are the custom value channels again that are in here that are set up. You've got the communication topics, how often they want to get communications. And then there are different channels. So these are the topics that you get to set, which again are custom values. You'll see in a second when I show you the form, as well as the frequency options. So the last thing we're going to check out here is the form. So if you go right into Form Builder, you'll see we have the communication preference form, and you're going to see it's all custom values other than right here. You'll see here's all the different custom values other than above, different checks, that type of thing. You just go in and depending on what you wanted to use for a title for resource tips or for your product service updates or your educational content training. I just want to give people the flexibility to be able to come in and not have to use my preset one or use ones that I have because a lot of my stuff is tailored toward my AI mad scientist, like the things I have, like AIAK Kickstart, AI Launch Bootcamp, all that different stuff. So this allows you to tailorize. That's a new word I made up. Customize for whatever you want. And then you have submit choices. Let me get rid of that. Terms and service. I'd always put that on the bottom of the page, not in there. There is also not an opt-in you'll see in here because we're assuming these people have already opted in. That's why they're coming in and controlling this. This is sticky contacted or sticky formed in here. So if you do have any of their information, it is going to pre-populate in here, which is very helpful. So they can literally just come to the website. They'll already be there. Just bloop, 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 update contact information. Super cool. Well, so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you know, there has been a QR code. If you'd like to be able to get this, it's very inexpensive, only 47 bucks right now. It is going to double soon. As soon as I get a lot of testimonials from you guys and gals telling me how much you love it, I'm going to raise the price. So anyway, for those that don't want to buy it, have fun making it. I've shown you everything you need to know to be able to do it. And with that, I appreciate you watching this video. I've got a ton of stuff that's going to be coming out. I'm going to be putting out videos daily on different topics from AI to full tutorials on HighLevel. That's right. I'm going to be literally breaking down all the major steps on how to set up courses, how to set up AI, how to set up funnels, how to set up webinars, how to set up everything you need inside of HighLevel. I'm just doing full-blown tutorials. So keep tuned for here if you're looking for AI, if you're looking for high-level tutorials, or you just want to hang out with a funnel doc. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next Funnel Doc out. Peace!